Hey y'all, this is Nydea Graves, and I want to talk to you about why every single Pennsylvanian should be voting in this election. 2020, this election, they say on the news that this is about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, two 70-year-old plus white men. We in Pennsylvania know that couldn't be more true. Obama said this is about a scrappy Pennsylvania in Park Avenue. Now that's true because I'm a scrappy Pennsylvania, and so are so many other working class people. We are in this fight for the Pennsylvanians who live near pipelines, the Pennsylvanians in northern Pennsylvania who are coal workers, who haven't been trained for new green jobs, and whose industry is going to be obsolete and they're going to be left unemployed and forgotten. We are fighting for the Pennsylvanians in Philadelphia counties whose schools still have asbestos and who are getting a poorer education. We are fighting for the black people in Philadelphia who are constantly targeted by a broken criminal justice system. In the county who's only second to Philadelphia, Center County, the poor working class white people who are targeted by a broken criminal justice system. We are fighting for the political prisoners in Lancaster County who stood up for justice when one of their own was murdered by their police and got hit with $1 million bills. We are fighting for the toddlers and children and babies and families that are in the only immigrant detention center that is publicly funded in the whole entire country in Berks County. We are fighting against the Capitol. We are fighting in every single city, in every single county in Pennsylvania, because we know that we are strong working class people who share values, and they have so much tried to exploit Pennsylvanians, pit one against each other, can pit coal workers against environmentalists, pit black people against white people, pit our strong Muslim communities against our other religious communities here in Pennsylvania, because they know when we stand together, when we vote together, we do win. That is the battle that we are fighting here. Not Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, but our values versus the people who profit off of dividing us and who work against our values. We are fighting against Big Pharma, who has personal investment in ruining plenty of Pennsylvanian families with the opiate crisis. We are fighting against big oil, who is the reason, and big fossil fuel companies, who is the reason why Pennsylvanians have pipelines and why coal workers are not being transitioned into new green jobs. We are fighting against insurance companies, which are the reason why Pennsylvanians who lost their job during the pandemic are left without health insurance when they need it the most. This is the battle that we are fighting. When we ask you to go to the polls and vote for Joe Biden, we are not picking a president. We are picking an opponent. We are picking who is going to be the least antagonistic to our movement. We know that he is not going to be our champion. We are our champions, and that's why it's so important for us to go out and vote. And on November 4th, we need to keep doing actions. We need to make sure that we fill up our state legislators with people who share our values, and we need to make sure we fill all our local offices with people who share our values. Does Joe Biden share our values? I mean, not necessarily, but someone as antagonistic to our movement as Trump, someone as in direct opposition to our movement as Trump, cannot be elected as president again, because our movement, the values that we are fighting for, will not be put on hold for another 4 years. We are treading forward, and we are going to win. The last 4 years in Pennsylvania will be nothing like the next 4 years in Pennsylvania. I'm completely confident of that, no matter who wins the presidency. But we have to vote Joe Biden in so we can make sure we do the big things in Pennsylvania that we plan to do, like a Pennsylvania Green New Deal, like ending death by incarceration, like banning fracking. We need to do this here, and we need to win on these things. And we cannot do that with Trump as president. So I understand being disenfranchised by the political system. Poor people have been left behind, period. Poor working class white people, poor working class black people, poor Latinx people, undocumented people. We have all been left behind by both parties. But when we stand together when we don't let the things that they tell us will divide us, we are so strong and we are so powerful. So we need to stand together on November 3rd and vote for Joe Biden, and on November 4th and continue to push forward for the legislation that working class people across Pennsylvania deserve.